Hey everyone, it's Dan. I'm here with Jim Serratelli. We've helped Jim secure over $776,000 in funding over the last 3 months. He actually started back on January 18th. We just checked, and it's April 16th right now, so under 3 months. Jim, feel free to introduce yourself. Let everyone know what business you're in and kind of what was going on that led you to reach out for some help with capital.
Yeah, sure. My name is Jim Serratelli. I'm in the financial services business, investing, that type of stuff for my clients. But the reason I reached out to Dan was I was helping out my kids and doing some work in their home, and we started accruing a bunch of financing and doing it different ways, and it became a pretty major headache. So, and the reason it became such a headache is a couple of years ago when we started that process with them, I used a funding company that, gave me this whole spiel like, I'm going to set you up. This is the way it's going to work. You're going to have some 0% financing, this, that, and the other thing. And it's going to happen every year. That's what they said to me, literally. And they were it was obviously not even close to happening with us. So after I got some funding from them, which wasn't a ton, it was like maybe $180,000. They disappeared. Never heard from them again. So I was on Instagram. I was scrolling and I saw this guy's ads, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it out and just talk to him and see what happens.
Excellent. And how did the experiences compare, right? What was what
Yeah,
happened?
there was no comparison, right? So I work with professionals every day, and I talk to people about their money every day, and there was no comparison whatsoever. You have a great understanding of money and how people should use money and what they should stay away from and why they should stay away from it. And even more than that, because you could kind of like read stuff and figure some of that stuff out. But even more than that, it's like doing certain things at certain times is really important. I don't know that information. I don't know how Chase Bank or Bank of America or US Bank or Key Bank for that fact. I don't know how they really look at things, but you do. And that was a huge help.
Awesome. Awesome. And I know in the beginning, obviously, you may have been a little bit skeptical, obviously about getting 100, 200, 300, but, now we're at 776. What was that, initial kind of conversation that helped you, take the leap and, pay up front to work with us? Because
Yeah.
that's another, commitment we asked for.
Well, during our first conversation back in January, the one thing I did was I pestered you with questions, if you remember. Well, I still pester you today. If people would see the amount of texts that are going through,
Don't
they'd be like,
encourage anyone. Don't encourage anyone.
"This is crazy." But anyway, I peppered you with stuff, and I could tell um, it, the answers were genuine and they were real, right? So I took the leap of faith. I paid you the money I paid right up front, and
How was the ROI? How was the ROI?
pretty damn good. When you look at it, I don't know if it's okay to say the amount of money that I paid or whatever, but I
I
paid.
mean, pricing's probably going to go up,
Yeah,
like anyone
I'm sure it's
listening.
going to,
Yeah.
right? But I paid a decent amount of money, and the amount of I got, I don't know, what is that?
I think
60
it was
times?
163,000 at 0% and
Yeah,
another 613,000 in term loans, like between 7 and 9%.
yeah. So it's like 50 times the investment I made in you got back from me. And not only that, you've been around, man. I mean, I talk to you almost every day about stuff, and I ask you stuff, and you give me the straight answers, and I really do appreciate that.
Excellent. Excellent. Where would you be if you didn't find us, if we didn't work together?
Yeah, I'd be struggling trying to figure out ways to pay some of this stuff off that ended up being higher interest because it started off low, but then it was kind of crazy and out of the world. So out of this world, I think I'm in a great position right now. I understand everything. I've got a clear path to no debt. We just talked about that. In 3 to 5 years, all of the debt that I have is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
And every year we're going to be able to recycle. Now that I understand what to do, we're going to be able to have you recycle me and continuously get me the 0% funding.
100%, 100%. Any other, things that people should know about the process? Like you're a financial advisor, you're in the financial world. Like, what would you advise like a business owner who's considering this, maybe trying it themselves, working with a different company? What would you say?
Well, here's what I would say. Lucky Credit is the place that I would prefer a business owner call because they're going to get real answers. Listen, you gave me some answers on some people I know that were not great. Like oh man, I can't believe we can't help these people. You're being honest with them, but you didn't just show them aside. You're telling them these are the things we need to get done in order for you to accomplish these things, right?
Right.
And I think that that's pretty awesome. So if you're a business owner out there and you need to talk to somebody about the right way to fund a project or to hire more employees and have enough money on hand, Dan, you're a great guy to talk to about that stuff. And who the heck wouldn't want to fund their business with 0% financing if they can, right? Why wouldn't you want to do that? So yeah, that's what I would tell them to. That's why I would tell them to call.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Jim, thank you so much. I appreciate the words. I appreciate you as a client. Looking forward to working together. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dan.